Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today, I'm going to be featuring the Abomination, the most ridiculous torpedo boat destroyer that I have ever played in this game. It is not even funny. I mean, this ship, the Pan American destroyer, La Pampa, has so many things going for it. I mean, I don't understand that why they have added this ship, and I don't understand that did they even think about balancing this ship in the first place, because I don't think so it's balanced at all. If I talk about the strengths, then you will be clearly realizing that where this topic is going. It's gonna be more of a rant. Trust me, I am really shocked to see not only the monetization practices that they are doing with these tier 10 newly released tier 10 ships, but also that the firepower, or maybe in the case of La Pampa, the torpedo power is absolutely like over the roof. Let's talk about some of the weaknesses, because there are some players out there who are defending that the tech 3 ships like Shimakaze, Gearing, Yang, the typical suspects, are still pretty good and are worthy ships over La Pampa even. So you might not need to spend money. Yeah, I am 100% in favor of that. Do not spend money in these loot crates or bundles or whatever Wargaming is adding for these ships, because that is a terrible thing in the first place. If you do it, this will incentivize Wargaming even further. And I can absolutely understand that. You should not do that. But let's talk about something else, about the ship itself. Why I'm constantly saying that it is the most ridiculous ship, the absurd ship, the most broken ship, in my opinion. I mean, this is my personal opinion. You might really have a different opinion about the ship itself, but I have played it and I felt that it is having the most insane potential out of all torpedo boats in this game. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is, first of all, the La Pampa has, well, it has smokes, it has torpedo reload booster, which is another ridiculous thing on top of 15 torpedoes that you can spam in this ship. Like I'm doing this here, for example. There's a La Pampa, another La Pampa that got spotted, and you're able to spam 15 torpedoes, and it is having three sets of torpedoes, right? Typically like that you find on Shimakaze, right? La Pampa has that as well. Look at that. I spend the torpedoes on that La Pampa by throwing them on that side, and then I decided let's go and just use the torpedo reload booster. Now this thing used to be pretty unique now in Yang, or maybe in the Hayate, right? But now it kind of feels like it's not unique at all. Like you want to play Yang or maybe the Hayate for simply having this amazing torpedo reload booster, right? But then you also have to remember that the torpedo reload booster has pretty absurd long cooldown, right? You can always say that, but then you can see here the ting F button that it has, which typically Pan American ships are getting usually, and even some of the other nations are also getting, because Wargaming is currently pretty much obsessed with this. I mean, you can see the cooldown time for the smoke and the torpedo reload booster right now is quite high. I mean, it's gonna take some time before I will be able to use the smoke and the torpedo reload booster. But hold on for a second. Not only that, you can spam 15 torpedoes and again another 15 torpedoes by using torpedo reload booster, which kind of puts Yang to shame, because Yang cannot torpedoes the destroyers itself. Like torpedoes of the Yang are deep water torps, okay? So that's a big weakness of Yang torpedoes. They are stealthy, they are a lot stealthier, but look at that. Before talking about the stuff that I'm gonna talk about, let's look at the F key, because the F key is even more brain dead. Literally, you can get this F key by staying unspotted for almost 3.5 minutes. And even if you get if you're able to get like a couple of torpedo hits, you will have extremely fast torpedoes. Oh, sorry, you will have extremely fast consumable like F key ready, like on disposal. It is ridiculous. Not only you will be able to get the F key by staying unspotted, which is a bit slow process, it's almost going to take 3.5 minutes, just like I said. But if you get 4 torpedo hits, your F key instantly gets ready. It puts Yu Yang to shame. Why? Look at the torpedo reload booster and the smoke. I still have 33 seconds, but I use the F key. Instant smoke ready. If I would be having a even more long duration, or I would say a cooldown in smoke, it does not matter. You just pop up the F key and look at the torpedo reload booster. It's already ready now. It's almost more than 2 minutes that's needed for the torpedo reload booster to get ready. But you have the F key. The most retarded thing about the Pampa is the F key. You get a high cooldown on torpedo reload booster. You can see here it goes from 47 seconds to now 13 seconds. It's a cooldown time that is pretty long. Even for smoke, the cooldown time is pretty long. But it does not really matter. You have F key, which will get ready if you get unspotted. And just like I said, you have so many torpedoes that you can spam on a ship that any ship that knows that the La Pampa is here is absolutely is gonna be fearing that it's not a good torpedo boat destroyer. Like, he's gonna be really putting his hands up in the air, asking the RNG up there that please do not let this guy send torpedoes towards me. Because even though your torpedoes might be only 10.5 kilometer range, but again you have 15 torpedoes and you really don't want to be pushing battleships in the first place. Like, if you want to play torpedo boats effectively, all you need to do is to find a flank like in this one, where there are a bunch of ships out there moving here and there, just lurking around doing nothing. Like, they all kind of are in the same place. And that's where La Pampa gets even more absurd. Now you just have to really strategize that how you will be able to spam these torpedoes effectively, right? In the case of Kremlin, I'm sending the torpedoes. I know that he might be able to turn out or maybe do some unrealistic shenanigans. Maybe I won't be able to expect his maneuvers, so I just waited. Okay? And you can see here that you have only one set that I have launched against them. You have 2 sets still ready, just like in the case of Shimakaze. And look what I'm gonna be doing this. Look at the torpedo spam that you can ultimately be able to do so. I have used torpedo reload booster. I have 15 torpedoes ready, and boom, spending all the torpedoes that I've loaded. And look at the spam. Isn't that insane? It puts Yu Yang to shame. The reason why is because these torpedoes actually be able to hit destroyers. And by the way, the most funniest thing is that it has better concealment than gearing torps. Now, it has almost similar damage to gearing torps as well. The reload time might be worse, but it's almost 99.5. And by the way, I'm shooting Hindenburg so that he actually be able to shoot me back and show a bit of a broadside. And look at that. Two torpedo hits on the Hindenburg. I killed the Kremlin with 5 torpedo hits, like 3 torpedo hits in total on the Kremlin. And look at that. I used the F key again. I got my torpedo reload booster back again. What the fuck? You have heals as well. It's insane. And you have the smoke, so you can just pop it quickly once you have F key ready. It's insane. You have 3 heals. I mean, you might argue that it has the worst speed out of all destroyers, or at least almost all destroyers in the game, because it's 34 knots. Right? You can argue that, but you cannot argue with the torpedo spam that it has. It has insane torpedo spam for a torpedo boat destroyer. There is no arguing on that, guys. Come on. It's not even funny. And by the way, the torpedo DPM is slightly worse than Shimakaze. It's like only 8% less DPM over Shimakaze. Just slightly less. But these guns of La Pampa? These guns might be a bit maybe underrated. Maybe some players might not able to explain you quickly or clearly that what the ship is capable of with these gun power. It has, if I explain, it quickly. It has daring guns. It has 113mm guns. It has copy-paste daring guns. So it can able to penetrate on superstructure. It can actually able to having it can able to just penetrate broadside destroyers with AP. AP DPM is higher than HE DPM on La Pampa. La Pampa has 153,000 AP DPM, something like that, and HE DPM is slightly worse at 122,000 HE DPM compared to Shimakaze. You can always switch to AP on broadside destroyers and can get some value. More than Shimakaze, more than Gearing, more than Yu-Yang itself. With the gunpowder, with AP especially, because AP have similar characteristics. It has AP angles like you find on Daring, right? It does have on the La Pampa, which is crazy. It has the 19mm threshold. I mean, this is the first game that I played, and you can clearly see where this is going. Maybe they are not pushing me up, but probably they will be really fearing of the La Pampa in this flank and running away, which is understandable because it is definitely a feared ship to push, really. But I will explain a bit more strengths in a short bit of time. As you can see here, a team score, it's not really impressive, but it was my couple of first games that I have played, and I'm starting to realize that how really powerful and capable this ship is, even for a gunboat, which I will explain why. As I said, the guns are actually pretty similar compared to Daring, okay? The only thing about the La Pampa guns that it has significantly worse reload time. Only 4 of the guns and having 3.3 seconds of reload time base. And since I haven't built the La Pampa with the gunboat style build or building it with the gun DPM increase, it's definitely worse out of most of the destroyers in this game, without a shadow of doubt. But again, compared to Shimakaze, it has heals. You have 3 heals, and just like I said, in almost 3.5 minutes you will get this F key ready while just staying unspotted. Okay? Which is crazy. The only time when you start losing progress is when you will be spotted, okay? Which is crazy. Like, you don't need to get spotted on this La Pampa, right? You can see here, time before you start losing progress is 30 seconds if you stay spotted. But you don't need to get spotted for more than 30 seconds because you can always smoke yourself up if there's no radar. There is that F key, continuously get ready after 3.5 minutes. Where's the balance? You have heals, you have daring, AP angles, AP ricochet angle, which you typically also see in Welbing, but also it has an arming threshold of 19mm, which means that you will be able to pen all destroyers in this game. 19mm is most destroyers having broadside armor. So the DPM that it has worse on the HE, if the destroyer somehow managed to broadside, you can always switch to AP, and that's why I'm just trying to check whether the AP is really worthy or useful, and I find it surprisingly decent. I don't know why sometimes it didn't get some damage. Like in this case, look at that. I'm shooting AP. I hope that I will be able to look at that. This is all penetration damage. Just like I said. So you can just improve some of the DPM by just shooting AP, slightly increasing more than HE DPM. And I just did some damage to the other La Pampa that you find on the second game. Which is crazy, right? I pop the smoke. The smoke is kind of having the similar action time and dispersion time. Basically Shimakaze levels. Its maneuverability is some of the best in this entire game. It has the best turning circle out of all destroyers. You can go and check WoW's Ship Tool ST. Okay? You go and check. It has the tighter turning circle out of all destroyers. It has, I think, the top 5 rudder shift time out of all destroyers at 4.2 seconds. It has the best style of bow-in 4-gun gun turrets, which I believe is the best. Like if you are spotted against a destroyer, right? I mean, it's funny. The torpedo concealment is so good And the armament layout of the guns is so good that I don't understand this ship, man. It's way beyond anything that I've ever seen for a torpedo boat destroyer. Like, I have got the FQ ready. I killed the La Pampa. La Pampa has little to no chance because I have increased the torpedo speed to 73 knots. I have maximized the speed potential of these torpedoes. You actually have not only these heals, but also you can heal 70% of the pen damage in the ship. What? Like, why? Why not 50%? Why 70%? Now, my logic says that they have actually nerfed the super heal during testing, right? And it might be, something like in those of reasons, right? I think that they should have get that, pen damage healing potential from 70% to 50%, but they haven't touched that, which is again a nice bonus, right? I mean, it's not gonna change much because you have 3 heals, so even if you have 50% healing potential after taking penetration damage, you will still be able to utilize heals regardless. But it's still an additional bonus, right? Your tighter turning circle, you have 15 torpedoes, you can spam it, especially that I'm doing on Napoli. I mean, there's a really good chance of that guy to eat these torpedoes. Like, Napoli does not have hydro. Another big problem for these ships. Like, look at that. He's trying to use the guns and it literally get no reaction time. Because the reason why it is the case, it has 1.3 kilometer torpedo concealment. The torpedoes have better concealment than gearing. And way better concealment than Shimakaze. Shimakaze might be having the best torpedoes damage in the game. But again, these torpedoes are very comparable to gearing. 17,500 versus 17,900 is really much negligible in terms of the damage difference that both ships have. But again, the gearing does not have heat. Yeah, sure, it does have defensive AA, but it does trade with the speed boost. Now, La Pampa obviously does not have speed boost. It has the worst speed out of all destroyers, but you don't need to push the other ships to make these torpedoes work. You have to find the positions where these ships are pushing towards you, which in randoms is 100% chance that it happens. There are so many retarded apes, so many players that just mindlessly push for the middle in no reason, that La Pampa will actually going to get huge value, but not only in randoms but also in ranked. This torpedo spam is undodgeable. You have 1.3 kilometer concealment of the torpedoes. The torpedoes have 73 knots if you fully build for it. I will explain that in the later part with the commander skills and the upgrades. But you can see where the things are going with the ship. You have smokes. I have already showed you the potential of an FG in the first game. And the guns are daring guns. You can actually able to shoot these guns with AP and can get pen damage on destroyers. So the DPM, you can slightly increase it, and you can even challenge gunboat destroyers with your torpedoes. Like, you can spam torpedoes if any destroyer pushes you, right? If you have RPF especially, it is even more absurd. But I usually don't use use RPF. Many reasons. I just don't like it, and I find in general I able to understand the not precise, but at least a generic location of where the typical destroyer might be. Just like you have seen, I have taken down the La Pampa, but these torpedoes are extremely stealthy. It has a reaction time. The reaction time of these torpedoes is less than 7 seconds. You cannot get it on any ship out there. Like, gearing has like around 7.8 seconds of reaction time. Shimakaze have like 9.7 seconds of reaction time. So you can see where this is going. And then you have 15 torpedoes. And then you have reload booster. It puts Yu Yang to shame. You don't have heal. You don't have heal on Yu Yang, on Shimakaze, on gearing. But you have a heal on La Pampa. So you can imagine that with the AP on broadside destroyers, it will pen, because it's a 19mm threshold and the AP is 113mm gun caliber. So it's insane, right? On top of that, you have an F key. So you will load your smokes quicker. You will load your torpedo reload booster quicker, because in the case of Yu Yang, you have to wait for some good time. maybe the Shah Zen Bing, the legendary captain, might help the torpedo load booster a bit to like maybe minus 25% cooldown time. I don't exactly remember, but the Shah Zen Bing, the legendary captain of the Pan-Asian destroyer, does help with the torpedo load booster. It gives you one torpedo load booster, right? But in the case of La Pampa, I haven't seen or I haven't been able to utilize all three torpedo load booster, right? Because your torpedo speed, your torpedo DPM is very comparable to Shimakaze. I haven't even talked about that. The torpedo DPM itself is some of the highest in this game, only beaten by Cassard, which is again having weird torpedoes that do low damage at long ranges and good damage at at close targets. So I cannot directly compare it with Cassard nor Kleber. Kleber has the highest torpedo DPM out of all destroyer in the game. But again, 8-kilometer torpedoes, so the comparison is not possible. The direct comparison that it is worthy is against Shimakaze. But look at that, you have heals. And I'm taking on this Grozovoy. Now Grozovoy is definitely extremely difficult ship to take down, right? It's actually a good player. He's trying to speed juke, and he's definitely out DPM me, right? But you have seen what I'm doing. I got my smoke again because of the F key. Ability to disengage quicker is insane, right? And I'm doing this. Now I'm not shooting AP, I'm just shooting HE. But I got a 5 because of that, right? So I can probably able to do that. Right? Now able to just disengage. Now here's the thing. If there's a torpedo boat destroyer that is more decent than me, like I'm not a good player as a torpedo boat destroyer. I have to say that. Now in this case I know that he will be spamming some torpedoes, which I have dodged. But again, if he knows that what the Grozovoy push will be, he will actually able to send all these 15 torpedoes, and one of the torpedo would have hit this Grozovoy, resulting in him just dying, which I was not able to do that. So okay, but you can see here where the things are going. I got the torpedoes, and I have again the torpedo reload booster back up in 20 seconds because I have used the F key, and I have also got the heal quicker. I don't think so I have got the heal quicker, but again I have heals to take down this Grozovoy. Unfortunately I won't be able to kill him, but this whole video and the other video that I have showed, the other game that I've showed, shows the potential of where that La Pampa really is. It puts Yu Yang to shame, it puts Gearing to shame. You have so much torpedoes, more than Gearing. It has more torpedoes than Yu Yang. It has similar torpedo armament like Shimakaze, but then you have heals. You have concealment, 5.8 kilometer concealment. I don't know why I forget this, but the concealment is also some of the best for torpedo boat destroyer. You can outspot Gearing, non-legendary mod Gearing, and Yu Yang. Isn't that insane? Now here you can see here that this Grozovoy obviously also have heals, and he will finally be able to manage to kill me. But that's understandable. Like, but still, if I would be in Shimakaze, I would have been dead by a huge long time ago. But not in the case of La Pampa. I have prioritized and used the heals correctly. I have smoked up, disengaged. Unfortunately, I didn't able to use the torpedoes to my advantage. If I would have done that, I would have been a lot much more in easier life against Grozovoy. But that didn't happen. So it has daring guns, just like I said. Exactly ditto copy daring guns. You can go and check in the shiptool.st. I have compare all the stats. Best turning circle in the game. Rudder shift is insane, like really good. Your torpedoes, DPM is some of the highest. Then you have torpedo reload booster on top of that you don't get in Shimakaze. And you have an F key that increases the reload time. Like it will just quickly reload the torpedo reload booster that you find on La Pampa. Way better consumable to use compared to Yu Yang, right? The Yu Yang cannot get its torpedo reload booster like that quicker, and it does also not have heal. Where's the balance? Where's the balance? Now anti defense is not really good, without a doubt, but still, let me go and just go into the team score and just show you this gameplay, or this game's result. So as I said, I don't understand the balance with the La Pampa that they have done. I mean, they're really preferring it over, many things. Like the balance is just not there. They are really preferring it over the balance. Like they are not really in their minds. I don't understand the reason why this ship really exists in this state in the first place right now. But let's go into the upgrades and showcase you some of the more important stuff of the Pampa itself again. But before that, let's go into the team score. As you can see here on top, not difficult, considering I have taken down not only Grozoe almost, which is actually a good player out of all DDs, out of all ships out there, but you can see here, kill the Pampa with torpedoes. They are very easy to hit, really good concealment, even better concealment than gearing torps. So yeah, the torpedoes' chance of hitting on ships is extremely high, even against destroyers. And as you can see here, as a really bad gunboat ship, because it's having a worse HE/DPM compared to Shimakaze, because you have heals and the smoke combination, I still managed to put up a fight against Grozoe, dealing him almost 18.5k damage. You cannot do that in Shimakaze for that long. You don't have heals, you don't have even HP that much compared to Shimakaze in the first place. Like Shimakaze have 21.700 HP, it has slightly higher HP. And I haven't even talked about the legendary captain and the potential that it has on La Pampa, which I will explain quickly. So here I am in the port, and I want to talk about the combination of a legendary captain, which is Joachim Marquis Lisboa. If I hope I didn't able to just mispronunciate that. I'm sorry if anyone just feel offended by this bad pronunciation. But again, the Pampa with that legendary captain has even more absurd potential than normal captains. Reason? Well, you will get an extra speed if you be able to use 2 times your F key, which means that if you stay unspotted for like 7 or 8 minutes into the game, you will get extra 5% speed on La Pampa. Now, the La Pampa speed is, as you can see, it's only 35.7. It's pretty low, right? So you can mitigate some of that low speed by just having that unique captain. It will go up to at least like 37 point something knots, which is really good, right? It started to get some speed back. Its armament of the layout of the guns is impressive. You can just stay bowing like this against other destroyer, and you just mess up with the dispersion. Sometimes you can just maneuver, jiggle here and there, and then you can actually trade against destroyers somehow well if you're able to utilize the smokes and heal, which you won't be able to do that against any other destroyer. Like for example, in the case of Shimakaze, Gering, or Yu Yang, which are the usual suspects, right? Which is crazy. The guns not having the good reload time, but they are daring guns, just like I said. And the potential of F key with Joachim Marquis Lisboa, the legendary captain, makes it through the roof. The balance goes completely off because, well, even if it has really bad guns with pretty terrible reload time of 3.3 seconds, well, if you're able to utilize your smoke and use the gun power and get 170 main battery hits, guess what? You will get minus 5% main battery reload time, and you will get a minus 10% torpedo reload buff on already these insane torpedoes. So actually shooting the guns in smoke with that unique captain will make this ship the most retarded ship in this game ever. And then you have also an F key, and I mean, if you use it 2 times, just like I said, you will quickly able to utilize it. Like it gets its it really gets its cooldown time, or maybe the loading time of an F key from 3.5 minutes to like 2.5 minutes, or maybe slightly more than that, more than 2.5 minutes. Why? You just need to stay unspotted for a couple of minutes, and you will still going to get an F key ready, right? And I mean, if you get your torpedo hits, well, it will get instantly ready, because 4 torpedo hits on a battleship, broadside battleship, is not difficult. Imagine this potential, right? You might have a worse cooldown time of 313 seconds with the consumable faster reload flag, but still, you just use an F key, just like I said in the game. Anti-defense, I'm not going to say that it's good, but then you have smokes, you will get your F key ready. You can just quickly get another smoke by using an F key. You will quickly able to get your repair party up after like 15 seconds once you will have your F key ready. and utilize it properly. And then torpedo load booster, it puts Yu Yang to shame. You actually be able to have really good reaction time torpedoes against destroyers. And then you have Shimakaze torpedoes. And then, just like I said, Joaquim Marcus Lisboa is really, really insane captain for this ship. Perfectly suiting the role that La Pampa really has. The torpedo flood damage, the torpedo flood chance that it has is very comparable to gearing. These torpedoes are, I would say, almost exactly identical like gearing, except that they are better. Except maybe from the torpedo range they are kind of suffering, because gearing has 16.5 kilometer range, it has only 10.5, but that's about it. But in return, it's get better concealed torpedoes, and you can increase it to 73 knots, making its reaction time less than 7 seconds, which is usually you will find on Trump or maybe Alvaro de Bazan, those having pretty stealthy torpedoes. But then you are having almost the highest torpedo DPM out of this entire game at tier 10, and you have torpedo load booster. Just imagine for a second, right? The survivability also improves by the legendary captain Lisboa. The Lisboa captain improves its survivability even further. Also, it will also help increasing its healing potential, maybe for like a couple of numbers, but still, with just 500 HP increase in the HP of the La Pampa with the unique captain, you will also going to get slightly better healing potential. Like maybe like barely, it's like almost negligible, but still. You can heal back almost 3,300 HP with this La Pampa heal. You get 9,000, almost like 9,600, almost 10,000 of your HP back with this repair party. Like, it's insane. You have so many tools to deal not against for all other heavier battleships or cruisers. You can also deal against destroyers somehow better than Shimakaze and Kirin, which is the most absurd thing. Turning circle, as I said, it's really insane. The concealment is 5.8, which is really good. You can outspot almost all torpedo boat destroyers. Oh, sorry, gunboat destroyers, not torpedo boat destroyers. Shimakaze have 5.6 kilometer concealment, which is understandable. But that's the only thing that is going for Shimakaze. Everything La Pampa has taken from Shimakaze, really. Every single thing. Every single thing that Shimakaze dreams of, La Pampa has it. Except for the AA. Okay? But most destroyers cannot defend against aircraft guys, so screw that. Because the AA is just really not there. Unfortunately. It's the reality. As I said, the AP able to penetrate 90mm side armor of typically destroyers get. Like now, understandable, if you're able to hit onto the plating of the superstructure armor, well, it will be overpenning. But then if you hit on this side armor, it will literally pen just like that you find on daring guns. The daring gun, the British tier 10 Tech 3 destroyer, same characteristics that you find on La Pampa. Exactly copy paste, except the reload time is extremely worse. The fire chance is same, the AP angles on the AP is pretty much similar to daring, only the reload time is higher. Okay? So what do you really want other than these sort of features that you're getting on La Pampa, with unfortunate reality that it has a FOMO style event Wargaming is backing up with, which is I'm shocked. I'm so sorry to this player base that they don't deserve this, but they are absolutely loving it because people will buy. There are some players that are willing to buy this sort of monetization way. They want to just spend money, and Wargaming just find out a perfect destroyer for that. Like, I have to clap. There's no other way of saying it. Like, it's insane. Alright, so let's talk about the captain build, the upgrade, as well as the captain skills. Because I think I am missing that part till now. So let's talk about it. So La Pampa, at 6 slot, must torpedo tubes mod 2. Like, this is like pretty much the easier way of, making La Pampa even stronger than what it is right now. You can get it down to 99.5 seconds of reload time. Then you use concealment system mod 1, pretty much a no-brainer. Acceleration, very much needed since it does not have access to speed boost. It's the only thing that makes La Pampa somehow worse out of all other destroyers right now. But still, all other strengths La Pampa gets in return. Yikes. Torpedo Tubes Mod 1, I think it's is better suited for La Pampa since you want to increase the speed. Again, engine room protection, helping a lot. Utilizing main armaments Mod 1, helping with those torpedo tube survivability and tube repair time. It's very important because I sometimes able to have torpedoes, destroyed permanently on La Pampa. But it's like in 6-7 games. So I'm exactly not sure how much tankier these torpedo tubes are, but I'm quite sure they should be okay. They shouldn't be that bad, right? On the captain skills now, it's pretty straightforward build. I mean, you can make it a bit different by using an RPF, but let's talk about the basic build that I recommend all of you guys to do. Preventive maintenance, very much needed, increasing your chance not to get those, turrets incapacitated, which is nice. Last stand, very much needed. Survivability expert. Superintendent is must. This is the thing that you cannot lose on La Pampa. You cannot trade the superintendent. Reason? You have extra smokes. Since you can use the F key, you will get your smokes quicker, torpedo load booster quicker, and even heal quicker. You have heal. You can use concealment expert. Very much needed, making its concealment down to 5.8 kilometers. Adrenaline rush. Torpedo. Fill the tubes. Torpedo tube reload time will be reduced to -10%, which is very important. And torpedo swift fish skill. Again, getting that less than 7 seconds of reaction time on these torpedoes, which makes it very juicier against battleships. Like, it's gonna be really tough for them to dodge. So this is La Pampa, and I just want to get some of the comments down below. If you really have tried this event, you should also please let us know, like, why have you done that? Like, why you really want to spend money, or are you already a collector, or maybe you just trying to figure it out yourself that I should be spending some money. Like, just let us know if you have bought the La Pampa. Okay, please let us know that what your thought process really is if you buy this ship, and what do you think, guys, all the others that might be looking forward to this ship, maybe want to see the gameplay. What do you think about La Pampa? Please let me know, because I have almost explained everything and every absurd thing, the broken thing that its ship has. And it is, in my personal opinion, a really broken destroyer. The only thing that it has not good, I would say only moderate, it's not like not good, is the very average speed, which is only 35.7 knots. It could be nice to have an engine boost, but then it becomes even absurd. Like, this is the only balancing factor, so I'm happy with that, to be honest. And then, obviously, your torpedoes having pretty, compared to like at tier 10 standards, it's actually having less range. 10.5 kilometers sometimes can be a bit on the lower side, because 12 kilometers seems to be like the bare minimum standards, especially when there are so many radar ships out there which having 12 kilometer radar, especially that you find on Russian ships, and there are hybrids as well. So yeah, so sometimes the torpedo range could be a bit of a challenge, but still, I don't think so that this ship is in a remotely way, worse in any way. It's in fact one of the best torpedo boat destroyers that you can get in this game. But you have to spend money. Would you do it? Please let me know in the comments. It really puts UrAvg, Gearing, and Shimakaze to shame, unfortunately. It has all the strengths of all these ships. UrAvg, Gearing, and Shimakaze. so, yeah. Please let me know in the comments again. And I will catch you guys maybe in the next video. If you want to have another La Pampa video, please let me know. And I will catch you into the next one. Peace out.